Legal snags.
Oh, legal snags.
Ladies and gentlemen, legal snags have commenced. It's
They are here.
legal snags are here, and this is a Friday night. Candles are lit. We are heading into a very monumental, rounded number of an episode. And I'm talking like this is NPR. Nate, do you listen to NPR at all? This is how they sound, right?
I do listen to NPR.
Everybody, this is NPR. But this is not NPR, everybody. This is the Backstage Boys podcast, and this is episode number 70. And this is your host, Trent, my co-host, and my other co-host. That's your cue.
Damn it, Nate!
That's your cue.
No,
Every
you
time.
say my name, and
No, I'm
say
changing
hello.
the game. Changing the game.
There's no changing.
Okay, wait. And my other co-host, referee Nate Speckman.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, right. That's true. It is better when he's like, hey, I'm Nate. I'm over here.
I'm just a guy.
Episode 70, guys. This is a nice rounded number. We're on the road to 100 continues. And we're on our way. 30 more weeks and we hit 100. I'm gonna have to double up, guys. We have to double up for 15 weeks.
But there's no wrestling.
There is no wrestling. There's gonna be a little shtickles here and there. Minimal wrestling. There might be a little bit. Well, here, listen. According to all reports and forecasts, the pandemic is going to end the day after the election if Joe Biden wins. That's the rumors I'm hearing. There's the report's going to say
we've
that.
Already gotten into political stuff.
It's been my ongoing joke is literally the news. See, news is going to be like this. Ready? The president-elect of 2021 president-elect Joseph Biden has won the presidency of the United States. And in other news, the coronavirus just disappeared overnight, ladies and gentlemen. Go figure. Quarantine's over. Merry Christmas.
You know what? At this point, I'll take it.
I will take it too. That's why I make this joke. I want that to happen. That's kind of just my hey, if that's what it takes, just like let it happen, please. Please just fly away. Fly away. I want to have a nice Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? You know, Thanksgiving is still in my periphery, guys. A maskless Thanksgiving. Are we all on board? I'd like to have a Friendsgiving. I've never done a Friendsgiving. Have you guys done a Friendsgiving?
I've done Friendsgiving. Friendsgiving is very fun.
I've never done a Friendsgiving. My family throws a huge Thanksgiving, but we're talking about Thanksgiving in July. This is a little much here, guys. Anyway, we are here to talk about some little happenings, but we're definitely here to talk about Slammiversary because Nate was itching to talk about it. He texted me the next day, and he's like, oh my God, this show is awesome. When can we all talk about it? I'm like, I don't know. One of these days. That day is today. So it's been fun. Nate, do you want to confirm or deny, just for the sake of controversy, because controversy creates cash, that you did send me that text?
I did send you that text.
Okay, confirmed. It happened. All right.
This show was so good.
It was. Basil, you were there. That makes it fun.
Oh, yeah, it was.
You were there taking pictures. You did not. I didn't see you on camera at all, though. Were you visible? You hid really well this time.
I hid very well.
Really well. You got amazing pictures, though, which I'm very impressed with. The pictures were awesome.
Appreciate you.
So do we want to go match by match, guys? Or how do we want to break it down? It wasn't a lot of matches. I guess we could.
I can also talk a little bit.
Yeah, so let's do what you want to talk. Let's talk general setup vibe. Give us the feeling of the day. You know,
So this was a legit live pay-per-view, and this was the first live show that we've shot at Skyway since everything has started. And it was very interesting to do a live show. It felt good. It was a good rush that I've been missing this entire time, because I'm used to doing live shows with indie shows and stuff like that, and it's just been something I've been like waiting for. So it was good to do this. Everybody was on their game, and I was so like worried that there was going to be a mess up on the pay-per-view.
I think the only thing I caught. Wait, Nate, did you catch this too? Like slightly in the first moment, the Rascals music was like low. It wasn't on.
That
It
was
wasn't.
it was an audio issue that happened at first.
But that was
got
it.
fixed immediately.
I didn't catch that.
That was the only thing I caught as far as live anything went, and it was like maybe 5 seconds at most. That was it. So no other issues though. Right, Basil? Hello?
No other issues at all. I know I was waiting for Nate to finish. You were asking Nate a question.
Nate's reading something.
Why?
We're actually on video, and he's reading something. Rumors, news, gossip, hearsay, something.
I am literally in the middle of uploading photos for Impact while we're doing this podcast.
Well,
I'm just scrolling Reddit. So
finish finish your. I guess we're really, really keeping him interested on this.
Man, he was so excited to do this.
Yeah, and I guess we've bored him already. All right, well, you know what, Nate?
Not excited to talk about technical difficulties.
Oh, excuse me. We're just setting the tone. We're going to get into the night. There was no technical difficulty. Go ahead, Basil. Any other?
I was saying the night was going well.
Yes. And then what else? Any other vibes from the night? Everybody's feeling.
Dude, it was such a casual feel. Like there was a lot of excitement. Like it was easily the most excitement that we've had for a show, and it was just good. It was just like a good feeling. Nobody was on edge. Everybody was really chill. Production worked their asses off, man. This was on every aspect. There was so much work that went into the show.
My buddy Kevin Martin, was he killing it?
Dude, so me and Kevin were work wives at Impact because all that slow motion footage that you saw on the new Impact
the intro?
opening, the intro,
that
a lot of those ringside ones, those were shot by Kevin. And what makes it really good is that
Nate, have you met Kevin? Have you met Kevin Martin?
No, I haven't.
Super nice. So young. He's like this 22-year-old, like
the child.
Whiz kid editor that they hired, who I guess he worked at TNT down there in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, and then he's done work at he worked an AEW show as well. So he's definitely earning his keep.
Yeah, Nate, you would like him. He's like Nate people. He would definitely be like
Nate. You would love Kevin.
Yeah,
I don't know what that phrase means, but okay.
Because he's nice, like you.
Nate
I'm saying you would
Nate people. He's not harsh. He's not confrontational. He's pretty much a pacifist.
Sweet, I'll meet him.
Loves wrestling. Your kind of people. Anyway, go on.
I'm not a pacifist. I'm a nihilist.
You believe in nothing? It's the best.
No, I am not. You guys seen the Big Lebowski?
We are nihilists. We believe in nothing. It's the best.
That's it. Seems exhausting.
Should be a nihilist too. It's too exhausting to believe in anything. Ugh, so much work.
Trent's getting political again.
Yeah. I just want this to go away. I sweat too much in that mask, man. It messes up the beard. No go.
I hear you.
Oh boy, no, man. All right, go on. So the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe was fantastic. It was great to meet. It was great to. There was obviously a bunch of new people, and everybody there was just. Everybody was excited. Everybody was very motivated to be there. It was just it just had a different feel to it. Like we all knew there was some extra hype going into it. We saw it was trending on the For You page about 3-4 hours before the show.
That to me, the trending. Let me just mention that real quick. You're right. It was trending before the show started.
It was on the For You page at about 3:00. We started noticing it, and everyone was like, "Oh shit!"
It hit
this
number
is
one in the night.
It hit number one in the first match, and we were just. It was great. There was a dip when they were going over the matches.
Yes, slight.
Yeah, there was a slight dip when they went to number 2, and then after I believe Moose and Dreamer were number 2, that it went back up to number 1 after that match was done. And then we stayed number 1 for the rest of the night, which was such a big deal just to have that
huge
presence.
deal.
Because we never get that. Like, we are trending 12, 10, 8, 7 maybe, but like number 1 on a pay-per-view. So not only are people talking about it, but that means that many people bought Slammiversary.
On top of which,
watching it.
It also means think about it this way too, on a Saturday night to be the number 1 trending topic. You know, when like heavy night, people are out, or not really out, but like people are just they're tweeting about everything on Saturdays. And it's the number 1 and I think from a business standpoint, one of the most telling things you could see is having a number 1 trending show to know like exactly where you stand. You're like, holy shit, we obviously did this right. And
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Nate, right? Like they sold it so well that like I saw a lot of people who were like, shit, I haven't bought a TNA paper in a long time. I'm gonna buy this one though, right?
I can't tell you how much, like, being on Reddit the couple of days leading up to the show, all of it was, hey, this Impact show looks really good. I haven't bought an Impact show in 10 years. You know, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out. I'm a first-time buyer, this, that, and the other. It was insane.
I think that's the biggest part of their success on this is that they converted people. And the proof in the pudding on that is on Tuesday, for the weekly show, they had 4 to 5 times the numbers that they normally do, and it stayed that way throughout. So that means you got these people. Like, they were there. I could see, like, part of me was like, oh, hour 1 is going to be high, then they're going to be like, screw it, I don't like Impact. You know, it's like, whatever. The pay-per-view is good, but the show's not. But not with
that dope-ass tag team main event.
Yeah, right.
They kept them in. I mean, they were in for the whole show, and it trended at number 2 on Tuesday again, which is mind-boggling. That's crazy. So, no, it's a fantastic job.
It was great because normally Twitch numbers when they've gone to Access, because a lot more people obviously have Access than Pursuit. Right. Normally the numbers are between 2,000 and 3,000.
Right.
This stream got up to like 9,000, I believe. Peak Pursuit time was like 15,000.
Yeah, this one peaked at just about 10.5 to almost 11 at one point. So they got nearly 5 times the numbers, which is insanity. Which again, from a market, it just shows you though, wrestling when sold right, very little spoilers. People keep their mouths shut. You build intrigue. Like, people will come out for it. You just have to give them a reason to want it.
I was mad. I was so mad when it was being reported that Motor City Machine Guns were winning, and I was just like,
I didn't even
why?
see that at all.
Yeah, I saw it, and I was just like, son of a bitch. But it got out so late that it didn't really affect anything because not a lot of people saw it. Mm-hmm. But I was like, damn it. I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, who snitched? Someone snitched.
All right, so let's start with this part. Like, Basil, it's hard for you to answer this, but I want to ask Nate. Out of all the surprises, before we go into the matches, out of all the surprises, which one made you kind of pop the most?
Motor City Machine Guns.
He was asking me.
I was asking him.
Yeah, but I was really excited about saying Motor City Machine Guns because it's good David and Alex Shelley teaming again.
Yeah. No, I'd have to go with them as well.
When I heard the music, I fucking popped. I literally, I jumped out of the shower, and I was like, God, it's starting. I was trying to, like, be ready, and I was, like, getting ready. I just heard the fucking, I'm like, what? And Nicole's like, you all right over there? You doing okay? Do you need me to pick you up off the floor? I'm like, no. You don't understand. This is like, I'm like sitting there trying to explain to these people. I'm like, they're like the Rascals of, like, 2010. And, like, they set the tone for all these guys. And, like, they're so cool. And, like, they both had ACL tears. And then one went back to school. I'm like trying to explain it to her.
Nicole needs to realize she needs to watch a match. This has been proven before. She needs to watch a match before she She understands the hype.
It was just so great though, because like the way everything was built, they played on multiple occasions. They played into like what the fans thought they wanted.
Yeah.
And so everybody was like, "Oh, the Good Brothers are rumored to have signed with Impact." And then it was like, "Oh shit." I don't know what the thought process was from Impact's side, but they're like, let's just get out in front of it and announce them, which I thought was brilliant, because then you get more views.
At midnight, too. They did it right at midnight.
But you're already, you know you're going to have multiple surprises. You're already guaranteeing one surprise. You don't need them as a surprise either. Mm-hmm. So you announce them, get out in front of it, and then the Rascals have an open challenge tag match. So everybody's like, oh, Good Brothers. Easy. And then nope, Swerve, huge surprise here. And like, so I was waiting for them, and I saw Machine Gun come up on the Titantron, because I won't recognize their theme music, but I saw Machine Gun come up on the Titantron, and then Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin walk out, and I freaked out.
I didn't see it coming at all. I was like,
also, what? Quick note, I still love that we call every Tron a Titantron.
Yeah, it just became that way. Like, it went from being the screen to the Titantron.
Yeah,
which I gotta give credit to McMahon and how they brand everything so well. You know, just how they've really gorilla position, for example. You know, like no matter where you go, it's the gorilla position. And I found it funny. I was backstage at AEW one time, and I forgot who it was. And some rook was like, he's like, why do they call it gorilla position? I'm like, what is that? What is it, like a zoo thing? And I was like, get the fuck out of this business now. Just leave now. Forever hold your peace.
Did you slap him?
No, I kind of laughed, and I was like, do you really not know? I forgot who it was. Yeah, it's somebody. It was a Fight for the Future kid. I know that. And I was like, what, are you serious? And he's like, no, it's like a zoo reference, like from the carnival days. I'm like, oh god. I'm like, I'll kind of give you a 5%, like, maybe I can see how you connected that, but absolutely not. If you call yourself a wrestler, I'm not giving you that one at all. But bad. But yeah, no, I didn't see it coming. I was super shocked. I popped big time because I didn't think I'd ever see those two guys team up again, at least on pay-per-view. I knew they were rumored for that. Well, they were announced for that other show. Well, no, actually, they weren't announced for the reunion show. They were. Shelley let it slip after that got canceled. They were supposed to team at WrestleMania. Was WrestleMania weekend. So I just didn't see it coming here. But I got to ask Basil this, though. How geeked were the Rascals to have that match? Because we saw how they were with Red.
No, they were very excited and very happy to be getting that match. Like, it's a lot of nostalgia, but knowing that they can still go was probably the best part.
Yeah, how about that, Nate? Like, how good were they still? Like, these guys have like broken everything, ripped everything, and like, holy shit, didn't miss a beat. I thought they were fantastic.
Not at all.
Dude,
that match was tremendous.
The shape that Chris Sabin was in.
He looked good, man.
He looked better. Yeah, dude, he looked better, in my opinion, than he ever has.
He looked tremendous.
Like, the man, you can grate cheese and wash clothes on those abs.
Jesus. Great cheese. Hey, Xavier, come here. I got a pizza and some Parmesan.
Chris, lift up your shirt real quick.
This tastes like shit, by the way, but it was worth it. Worth it, Sabin.
Amazing.
We forget, again, the Sabin return ties into that former champion thing, the former world champion thing, which I did not even connect that part of it. But
that's true.
But that was one of the former champions returning too. Like, we get his title reign it was short. It was like what, 2 weeks? Super short. Well, like heavyweight title reign. But he still had it, which is it tends to get forgotten. And I think it was a weird change at the time, but he's still a former champion. And also, I find it funny, the Guns only had the titles one time.
One time, but it was 183 days. 182 days. and LAX beat their title reign, and then North just destroyed everything.
Yeah, North murdered the title reign. Holy shit. Like, I don't think anybody's going to come close to that for a long time. But no, that was really cool, man. It was definitely a great, great surprise. I was super, I popped. I loved it. I thought they did a great job. And the Rascals, too, that mad respect. You know, there was a picture of Trey. I don't know if you saw this, Nate. There's a picture of Trey sitting on the ground watching the monitor with Alex Shelley.
Yeah.
See that? And he's like, I grew up watching this dude every week on TV, and now I'm like hanging out with him. This is so trippy. And
yeah, he said, "Don't meet your heroes" is bullshit because I met my hero and he's awesome, and we watched TV together.
That's what it was. Yep. It's so cool though. Like that full circle aspect is so crazy. I love that. I thought that was really nice. And but no, the Rascals hung really well. I think now, my prediction, if you guys want to, now the Guns have the belts, I think now we can finally get that Rascal transition to the titles. That's my thought, because the Rascals have a built-in reason to challenge them. In that it's like, oh wait, you were our mystery opponents, but we want an actual match now. Like something where you set up like an actual, like, now we know what we're getting.
I think that can be a good build-up to Bound for Glory.
I think we should do that, because now the Rascals, like, I still say we didn't pull the trigger when we had the chance back in Philly last year. I
still feel like, man, Philly should have been the one, because that pop. Nate, were you at that show with us in Philly?
I was not.
You didn't go to Philly. There's just three of us.
The pop for that show was insane. Like,
they were just so ready for it. They were ready for it.
Even on the Trey technicality, nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like, cool, we're going to roll with this. Like, we're fine, guys. We are okay with going with this.
But it was a dusty finish, Like, no, wrong guy made the pin. But
Trey was
still so hot.
Man, he's still a rascal.
That's when they were doing the drinking thing when Trey was
that's when Trey stole Ortiz's tequila. And just got completely hammered. It's fantastic.
It's funny. But no, great match. I like that one a lot. Second one was, they went right to the TNA one, Moose and Dreamer second. I know a lot of people complain about Tommy in 2020 being on TV and somewhat of a prominent role, but I'll give him this. The promos that he cut leading up to this were really, really good.
Fantastic. But me and Tommy have heat. He's fired me like 6 times.
Why this time?
He fired me 4 times this weekend.
Why?
Elaborate. He was mad. He was mad about he was mad about the Slammiversary promo, and it was just how the coloring went, because his pictures do not look like that. Like, it was just the color grading that happened, and it showed his tanning on his face, and he's like, you made it look like we were. I'm like, whoa! I did not edit those match graphics. Like, that's
say it like Tommy. You made me look like a fucking moron.
Yep.
Hey, Basil. Could you maybe look any worse?
Again. You're fired again, Basil.
Have you met Tommy, Nate?
Yes, I've worked with him.
Hi, Nate. I'm Tommy. Nice to meet you.
I love Tommy.
He threw a bunch of streamers at my head.
Tommy Streamer, hey? Did you call him Tommy Streamer? Hey, Tommy.
Tommy. That was an old Edge and Christian podcast joke. That's how they would refer to Tommy. They would say, Tommy. And then I guess fans were like going up to him at indie bookings and just referring to Tommy as Tommy, and he got so annoyed by it.
Fuck off.
Yeah, he hated it. He's like, guys, I'm really sick of everybody coming up to me and going, Tommy.
I'm really sick of it. Moose and Dreamer, we got some thoughts on the white strap on this one. That was nice.
That was one that Moose has been building up on social media. I've seen it. It's gorgeous. And then I was seeing it before. I was super hyped. And then the entrance and everything. Me and like, I like to go over gear stuff with Moose. Moose is someone who prides himself on his gear. Now he loves getting photographed. Like, that is the best thing about quarantine, is that Moose went from someone who hated promo pictures to now he's like, Basil, can we take our promos? Like, he asks me, and it's like, yes, promo pictures.
Nice.
So
I'm surprised he never took one of those other robes. I feel like you should always take advantage of those moments. I mean, like he sells that gear, and it's like, dude, you have no photos, promo photos of yourself in those. But I don't know, I thought this wasn't a bad match. Actually, it was short though, right, Nate? It wasn't too long. Maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't think.
I mean, obviously the match was to get us to a completely other place with this. It was
right.
Not, so we obviously weren't in there. It wasn't for Tommy in any way, but
no, but Tommy also, like, I'm a huge fan of Tommy Dreamer, but
yeah,
like seeing everybody sort of like you said, question Tommy Dreamer in a big title match on pay-per-view in 2020, but it's like, he didn't win. He did exactly what Tommy Dreamer is one of the best in the world at, and it's putting people over.
Yeah.
He learned it from Mick Foley. It's like, he has a gift, and to me, it's crazy to not have him on television in 2020.
Really? Because a lot of people like, that's a very differing opinion.
No, I'd say he's an asset to any company.
For that, just for the veteran knowledge, are you saying? Like, is that what you feel is the?
Yeah, I mean, the veteran knowledge, in the ring, backstage, but it's also, like, I mean, I guess I can see the idea of, going into the match knowing what the end result was going to be, but at the same time, does that make you care less about Moose? I don't get it.
No, because I still like to be taken for a story. Like, I still need you to get from point A to point B. Like, I knew Moose was going to retain it, but...
Right, but did you care less about what story they were telling, or did Tommy make you care more about it?
To be honest, the promo he cut made me care more about the match.
Exactly.
The promo on the TV before, when he was, like, super, super dramatic about it, and I was like, man, they kind of gave some, like, decent importance to this, even though it's, it's got the asterisks on this match, right? This match is like it's a title match, like, not really.
Right.
But Tommy, he did make me care about it. And again,
also,
go ahead.
I'm certain there was a time or two in that match where you were like, holy shit, are they going to do this?
Yeah, exactly. There totally was.
And it's a title that technically doesn't matter.
Right. And there was a point where I was like, holy shit, they might change it to him. Like, just to feed the story more of he won this title, it doesn't exist, and like, he's gonna have it now and
but also
retire it.
It's not the world title.
No.
It's not even the tag titles. If Tommy Dreamer did win it in 2020, it's not a quote legitimate title. So it's the first title anyone would give Tommy Dreamer in 2020. But so none of that makes any sense to me.
Basil's like, don't tell that to Moose, that it's not a real title.
My lips are sealed. Hey, he was a grand, whatever, stupid round MMA title belt Impact came up with during the Billy Corgan era. Champion.
He's the king of defunct titles.
God, that title was so stupid.
The Grand Championship?
Oh my God, I hated everything about it.
Like, could we have just had it be a TV title and called it a day? But no.
I hated the look of the title. I hated the rules regarding the title. I hated the matches with that title. Everything about that title sucked.
It was a total flop. That whole concept was a flop. But I'll give Moose this. I do like the delusional champion story he's doing, right? Like, the fact that it's like, what do you mean it's not a real title? Like, at that typical heel, like, what do you mean I lost and lose? What do you mean it's not a real belt? You're kidding me? I'm like you don't even acknowledge that there is another other title out there. You're just like, wait, this is the title. And I kind of do love the oblivious, delusional heel. To me, that's an art a lot of heels miss out on. It's like that delusional aspect where it's like, no, we didn't lose. What are you talking about? And it's like, we just saw you fucking lose. We're like, technicality. And you just brush it off. So I liked that. But no, Moose retained on that one. Old school rules, whatever that meant. Was that just hardcore rules?
Yeah, it was.
Explain that.
I don't see. I feel like nobody can use the term hardcore match anymore because, like, I don't know. Like, there's no DQ. There's falls count anywhere. There's whatever. I just call it a hardcore match.
Yeah.
Just call it for what it is.
Does somebody own the rights to that or something?
No.
I don't know if anybody owned the rights to the word hardcore.
Yeah, the porn industry would be fucked if that's the case. Actually,
guys, we really need this. Please do it with salad.
I just caught the humor in saying the porn industry would be fucked. That's hilarious. I'm hilarious.
I'm so funny.
Kylie was the knockouts gauntlet, which Kylie won.
He did.
This was highlighted by John E. Bravo coming out dressed as not only Taya but also Rosemary later on in the match.
My favorite part is where Penzer's like, Taya has been eliminated. When he said it like that, I just died. Like, that is so perfect at how he said it like that.
I like Penzer, man.
Little things like that make me so happy.
I didn't even catch that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, how he said it, he goes, Taya has been eliminated. And also, really quick, while we're on the discussion of like commentary and all that stuff, it was fantastic to have Josh and Don at ringside, and then the wrestlers were interacting with them.
Yeah, like, Ethan Page yelling at them was great.
Oh my god, because you can hear it. So it was like I was watching the TV show, because sometimes you can hear the commentary when it's like a live show, but with the crowd, a lot of it gets drowned out, of course. But it was like I was watching a TV show while I was shooting, and I was hearing the commentary, and I was like, feels nice to hear voices during a match besides the wrestlers. Like,
did you guys ever watch World Class Championship Wrestling at all? Von Erich's territory at all?
No. I did not.
So they did a thing. It's very innovative at the time. They were the first promotion, which I think is because of, I want to say it was Keith Mitchell produced. I forgot who they produced. It might have been Keith Mitchell, who's with AEW now, I believe. First company, and it might not have been him, but first company to have the cameraman who stand on the apron and really get into the ring, like stick the camera into the ring. But they also used to mic the posts in the ring and pick up like the grunts and the and the yelling and shit like that. So world class guys were very much more careful about calling spots because of that. But you would get a lot more of that interactive, shit talking a little bit. Like from what I understand, they used to like swear words would just like slip on TV all the time because they wouldn't catch them in time. For I mean, obviously it was a tape. A lot of it was taped, so they would catch them. But certainly you just can't catch. Like you just miss them. Back in those days, technology wasn't there. You just would miss certain profanities, and they just slip.
There was an F-bomb that was dropped, I think in the Jordan Deanna match, and it just little things like that would just pop us like all the camera crew. We would just all pop together for certain things because there was like an audible fuck, and we were just like, she can't say that, but it's so funny that she did.
And we're gonna talk about that match in a second, but I am convinced those two have legit heat. Like they've sold me on the fact they have legit heat, which they probably don't, but I was like, shit, man, these two like really seem like they hate each other. But awesome. Anyway, the participants in the gauntlet though it was let's say Taya, Kylie, Rosemary, Tasha, Kira, Madison Rain, Susie, Havoc, Nevaeh. I'm missing two. Who else am I missing here?
Oh, there was Katie Forbes,
and Kimberly. And then Bravo twice. So,
what are you talking about? It was Taya twice and Rosemary twice. Get your facts together.
Let me ask you this. Did he run backstage and put all that shit on? Like, with the quickness?
He did that in 9 minutes.
Jesus, that was amazing. He's a national treasure.
He's a gem.
He's amazing. And did you guys listen to the show when I had him on TNI? Did you guys hear that episode?
No,
he
need to check it out.
He roasted the fuck out of you guys.
He roasted the fuck out of us. And it was Alicia's second show, and he was just roasting her, us. Amazing though. He constantly roasts us, but he's great. I do love him. And but he's completely in a day and age of where managers are not a priority. The guy is fantastic. But I loved it. Kylie she's number one contender now, though. It's our girl, man, Kylie Rae. How many Kylie Rae matches have you reffed, Nate?
I think 5.
You should know this number off the top of your head.
I know.
How dare you?
Let me think about it.
I'm curious now. You got me thinking. Wonder. I've seen. Well, you reffed her match in AEW, right? Her title win.
No. I've only done one AAW match for her. It was Windy City Classic against Kim.
Oh, okay. Which is a good match.
And then, like, right after that, I did a Zello match with her and Tessa. And then right
Milwaukee?
after, yeah. And then, like, right after that, there was I went from not thinking I'd never work with her ever, and then I worked with her like 3 times within the span of like 2 weeks or something. There was also the Warrior match with Jordan Grace. And yeah, I think it's like 5 or 6 times.
The match with Tessa to this day bothers the shit out of me that she had Milwaukee.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day.
We did. We talked about this over a beignet. But Basil, like you were there.
Yeah, the Zello show.
This is the match where, like, the whole match, it was Tessa, what the fuck you, bitch? Fucking nuts. Just swearing, profanity, hatred, vile language. The match ends, and the first thing Tessa does is start crying and hugs her. Immediately. It was like, 1, 2, 3. Like, I was like, what? What? You literally just said fuck you to her as you came off the second rope, and now it's my girl. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? It was the most psychologically devoid match I've ever fucking witnessed. Like, I was like, what are we doing here, man? On Tessa's part, not Kylie's. I was like, why are you hugging her so immediately? Unbelievable. I love Kylie Rae though. It's our girl. Chicago's best. And a total sweetheart. I tell everybody, I'm like, that Kylie you see on TV is like, she is that nice. Like, she legit is that nice.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Right? Like, it's not a fucking character. Like, she is a sweetheart of a girl. And
she's the number one.
She's awesome.
Yes. I would love for her to win that title. It would be so cool for her to get that. Just because she's had such a rebuild of a year and herself, like, gaining her confidence back and everything. It's been a great and she seems happy. She seems really happy now over there, which is good. It's really cool.
She's very happy.
That's cool, man. That is really cool. Next one was Chris Bay and Willie Mack. All right, I didn't see this coming, but Chris Bay beat Willie Mack for the title. I totally, absolutely did not. And clean. That was the thing that got me. It was a clean win.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah, shut up. You saw it through the camera. I don't know, Nate.
Didn't we skip something?
No.
What was it after this match?
We did the Guns and Rascals, Moose and Dreamer, Kylie winning.
Yeah, but when does Heath come up?
Was it during this?
Rohit. It was after the Kylie. It was after the Kylie win. Don and Josh are talking, and you see Heath come in the background, grab a mic, without the commentary team knowing, and then cuts a promo and Rohit comes out and then gets a little bit of little taste.
Or he got dealt.
This is what I love. Okay? So like I said before, you're promoting not only a mystery member of the main event, but a former world heavyweight champion.
Right.
You also say they won't be coming alone. And then, like I said before, the Good Brothers announce their signing. So you anticipate them being there. And then you anticipate them in the tag team match. And then you get the Motor City Machine Guns instead. And then, so you're expecting the Good Brothers. You keep expecting the Good Brothers. You don't know what they're going to do, but you expect them to show up. So if you're there for them, you're glued till the main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know you're expecting a surprise in the main event. So you're all jazzed up. And then all of a sudden, Heath comes out of nowhere. And you're like, what else is going to happen?
True. Because at this
there
point,
there were so many good surprises that it wasn't one big surprise. It was multiple surprises that were just sprinkled in to every part of the show, which kept like the excitement up.
They were timed out perfectly. They were planned out perfectly in terms of like, it wasn't a card full of mystery opponents or open challenges. There was one mystery opponent, one open challenge, and they just found different ways. They brought in, 7 people, and they found 7 different ways to bring people in, basically.
Which is the genius of it. Like the fact that no one is tripping over the other.
Yeah, it was amazing.
You're right. And that was it. So I've been really critical on this burial of Rohit, right? And like, obviously I take that one a little harder. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows why. But I take that one a little more personal. But Bill, on our Impact show, hold on, Front Row Bill had a theory. His theory is that deconstruction of the character before you rebuild them, like kind of what they did with Fulton. OV was constantly just destroyed, losing, and then you kind of just bring him back fresh, like better than ever. And so Bill's take was like, you essentially have to kill the hit squad stink off of him, before you bring him back. And I did see that he teased like his new gear. It still says Rohit. Part of me in the back of my mind was like, oh, maybe he'll just like kill the whole thing off and be like, my real name isn't even that. It's Hakeem Zayn or some shit. And then Karam comes out or whatever. I mean, in a perfect world, Karam is his new muscle. And it's hustle and muscle and impact. That would have been amazing. But I guess that's what they're doing, right? Like because I was like, man, like they let the new guy go over on him. Like, what the fuck? But I guess if it is playing into that deconstruction aspect where you're just really just beating this guy down before you build him back up, I'm okay with that.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. I did like the post thing with Heath and Rhino. Rhino is hilarious, by the way.
Rhino is hilarious.
He's naturally funny.
Did you see the cheese and crackers thing I sent you?
Yes. Yeah, it was with Renee Young or whatever. Yeah, I did see that.
It was amazing.
Like my favorite part of it was like the most minuscule part of it, but it was like when they just zoomed in on Rhino just doing the sad face on the cracker. Yeah. I was like, what is this?
The other thing about Rohit is he could have just not been on the show.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And he wasn't planned to be on the show. And then I was talking with him the night before, and he goes, "Yeah, man, I got this segment with Heath," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" I was like so happy for him that he got that chance to get that segment.
Yeah.
So I was really happy for him.
Yeah, that's cool.
That he got that chance to do that.
You got to be part of it, which is good. No, good for him. Let's see where it goes. I'm curious for this. I was really just hoping. I was like, man, I hope Karam took that drive down, and Basil just kayfabing me that Karam's not there, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be awesome. But
I kayfabed you on so many things.
Everything.
Oh my god, I did not even give you the slightest hint of anything. And we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the main event.
All right. So Bay and Mack, I did not see Bay winning, especially clean. I didn't think they would give it to Bay this early as well. I thought
especially without Swinger.
Without Swinger, like I thought the Swinger thing was going to play into it because they made it look like Johnny's going to be like, "Oh, I heard you talking shit about me," and I thought he was going to cost him the match, if anything.
That's the only thing I wish was different. I wish Swinger would have gone into it, try to cost Bay the match, but end up costing Willie the match.
Exactly. That was my prediction. That's what I thought.
I was hoping for that, and I was kind of disappointed that we didn't, but it kind of just seems like that's just after that conversation, Swinger was done with him. Bay got what he needed out of Swinger. I see it from that perspective that he got what he needed out of Swinger, and he didn't need Swinger anymore.
It had no climax though, doing that, right, Nate? Like it didn't really have you didn't get your finish really with that. Like he just heard him, he's like, I won't be there. Okay, I'm like, that's it? Like you're not gonna get your revenge for shit talking you? Like
I don't know. I mean, I'll keep my eye out for the story to continue. I guess I don't like. I feel like maybe it didn't have to have a payoff there. We don't know the end of the story, obviously, and so there's more to it that will come out, and I'll just wait for it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, maybe
there's
it's not
some
over.
things I have. This is the part where I have to be quiet.
Okay,
so, and I'm not even. This is not a spoiler one way or another. It's just you'll see how everything plays out.
All right. Fair enough. No, big. I mean, it's a big endorsement to Chris Bay. I think that's it's kind of shocking. Like he is very young, and I'm like, man, that's the last. I didn't think they were gonna do it this early, man. I haven't. Here's my thing. I was not sold on Bay. I was saying that I was very critical on the podcast about development of him like actually showing what that character means. What does the ultimate finesser mean and all that? And I'm like, you're not giving me what it means. Like, what do you mean by that? But finally, on the Impact following Slammiversary, I feel like that's where he finally delivered it. Right? He was like, he was in the back with those girls, and he was like really fast talking shit, kind of smarthy, and I'm like, I
feel like it's a smoother version of what Ace Austin's character was when he was X Division champion.
Are you saying that because he's black?
No.
Whoa.
But Ace Austin
I just love the silence of like, fuck.
No, but Ace Austin kind of went with the whole porn star thing, where Bay is just like, this is you guys are living in the life of the finesse division champion.
Exactly.
Like like Ace Austin had the Triple X championship, the Triple X division, where this is the finesse division with pay-per-view, and it's Tuesday,
Wednesday.
So
I was thinking, I don't know if you guys caught what I was trying to reference. Remember when Paparazzi Production was going on, and like Kevin Nash was like the guy, and he was like making like them do things like all the X Division guys, and he's telling Jay Lethal, he's like, all right, Jay, you're first. He's like, why do I have to go first? Because you're black.
You're the token black guy.
Because you're black. Okay. I never forgot that. It was just like the way he said it. Because like Jay's like, come on, man. It was funny. I can't remember what skit that was, but it was so underrated. Like Paparazzi Productions, super underrated. By the way, I still say Kyle is responsible for getting that T-shirt back in print because Kyle stirred up all this shit on Twitter about Paparazzi Productions and why isn't this shirt back in print? And then even this is before Shelley came back to Impact. He was like, "Oh, that shirt was so ugly. I hope it never gets put back in print." Blah blah blah. Scott got in on it. He's like, that was a great shirt. Kevin Nash got in on it. Kyle's tweet blows the fuck up. Yeah, Kevin Nash was like, "You kidding? That shirt was that? I love Paparazzi Production or some shit." He puts it over. Kyle's tweet blows up, and like 3 days later, it's on Pro Wrestling Tees, like a reissue. But they reissued it in red, not yellow, which is funny. I don't know why. Not the original color.
Or orange.
Orange, yeah. Which I was like, what the hell? How do you do the other color? But either way, there's no way that was getting reprinted until that tweet blew up and like everybody jumped in on it. But hey, good. I mean, I always look at it like this: with the way pro wrestling teases now, why isn't like every shirt in print? Honestly, like
a retro shirt.
It's so easy to have it. It's like if it's a logo, like obviously if it's a guy like a wrestler's shirt, you can't print it unless you want to pay him. But if it's like a company faction trademark or the company logo or something, like fuck it, put everything up there. Let people will buy it. Like just put it up there. It doesn't hurt. It's like Paparazzi Productions. People buy the shirt now because it's there. But no, listen, Chris Bates, a hell of an endorsement. I'm curious where they go with him. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to it. But I think after this is where we got the Rhino and Heath running in the back, right? Was like after this match.
I think so.
Where he was like, "Hey, buddy," and he's like, "Hey." I don't know. Rhino's so naturally funny though. He's just, I don't know. His expressions are great. But then Scott comes up, and Scott's like, "Oh, hey, free agent. Look at you." He's like, "Yep, free agent." And he's like, "Oh, great. Looking to make a name for yourself." And he's like, "Technically, you don't work here though, so you're gonna have to leave." And then Rhino's like, "Oh man, oh, sorry, man." He's like, hit me up Tuesday. I'll get you on the list or some shit. Which plays in the Tuesday show. He's like, "Give me a call Tuesday. I'll take care of everything."
And that's the thing is like all of the, like I said before, you didn't have a whole card of open challenges. You didn't have a whole card of mystery opponents. You didn't have a whole card of people just showing up and jumping people. Yeah. And it's like just the different way that they brought everybody in. And this fits his character so well, where it's like, no, you're not welcome here. But it's also, they teased it for Tuesday, so it makes you watch Tuesday if you're interested specifically in Heath Slater. And I don't know, it's like everybody that debuted or returned has a built-in story going forward
with purpose.
And with purpose. It was great.
It was so brilliantly laid out. Like just knowing how much thought they put into not only that night, but how it plays into like all the tapings, subsequent tapings. That's the thing. And Basil, like, obviously I don't want you to speak on spoiling anything, but you can just at least agree or disagree on this part of it, just based on what you know. The flow into this set of tapings, it all made sense as it came out of Slammiversary. Like there's all sorts of things just happening. Like you've set up everybody. It's like, boom, here we go. Here's 6 weeks about to just hit you. So I like
it's a good flow. There's a good flow to this. I feel like the first set of tapings was rough, and then this set of tapings was just so much better.
Is Heath Slater as nice a guy in person as everybody says he is?
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. He's a good dude. Easy to work with.
He's got kids.
He's got kids, man. He had a trailer in the back of Skyway Studios, and he just parked that trailer out during the tapings, and he would open the door, and they'd be like, "Daddy!" and stuff would come flying out. And
he used to have long hair, right? At one point, when he was in the band thing,
he had like a bob.
This guy. Yeah,
like a bob cut almost.
He used to take like everybody's finish and shit like that, didn't he? Like, wasn't he always getting his ass kicked?
Yeah, it was like the thing by getting beat up by all the legends.
Like I think Road Warrior Animal, Lita, Psycho Sid, Vader. Like he got beat up by all of them.
Okay, interesting.
He got his butt whipped.
But like a decent character.
Wasn't like Sid one of them too?
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Did he hold any titles? Was he a title holder out there?
He was a multiple time tag team champion.
Okay.
Yeah, with multiple different people.
Nexus and then Rhino and
he's part of that. The Nexus group. The first one?
He was the original Nexus member.
Oh, I see. I remember I remember I was at a Starbucks in Old Town, like right when this Nexus thing was at its peak, and like David Otunga walked in. He was in there,
really?
Right? Yeah, so like I was with my cousin, and who was a fan, and then but here's the funny thing, the girl at the register was freaked. She's like, "Oh my God, you're you're Jennifer Hudson's husband, right? And like she didn't know him as David Otunga. And then I was like, are you David Otunga from the Nexus? And he's like, hey, what's up, man? I'm wearing an Impact shirt, of course. And my cousin was like really into the Nexus. He was with me. I was like, hey, check this out. I'm like, hey. He's like, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, how you doing? He goes, she's like, oh my God, where's Jennifer? And the girl's like freaking out. He's like, she's in the car. He was like picking up something. She's like, can I go see her? He's like, no, just take relax for a second. She's like driving right now and she's in the driver's seat. And so my cousin's like, hey man, can I take a picture with you? And he's like, yeah, no problem. So he pulls down his jacket and he's wearing the fucking armband. This is midnight on a Saturday. And
amazing.
And he's like, I got you right here. He like pulls into. I'm like, you fucking wear this everywhere? Like that's what you're doing with this? Rocks the fucking photo of my cousin. And he's like, hey man, you want one too? I'm like, no, sorry, I don't really know. I didn't take one. Sorry, I should have while wearing an Impact shirt. Like, no,
that's awesome.
Fantastic.
But the funny part about it was that he fucking is wearing the armband out with his wife on a Saturday night away from wrestling.
I think they had to.
That's great.
That's amazing.
I think that was part of the gimmick where everybody had to wear the money. Or the armband.
I'm a sucker for carrying character in public, especially when it's like hot. Like, when it's a popular thing. Because like I remember that. I remember the fact that he was wearing the fucking armband. And my cousin like marked out for it. He's younger than me and everything. He's like, holy shit, he's got the armband. I'm like, don't ask him for it. Please, whatever you do, don't ask him if you can have it. But like, and I remember that.
Under normal circumstances, you would never remember that Nexus had armbands.
Exactly. Think about that, But it was like, it made it special because like, now that Basil mentions it, it's like, yeah, they were probably instructed like, maintain that outside of here too, because it added to that moment. I wasn't a fan, but like it added to the moment that he like broke it out for a photo with my cousin. Like I'm like, holy shit, you actually like are in gimmick here.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool while picking up your fucking latte. I thought that was. I mean, I like that. Like when there was a storyline. I want to say it was Jimmy Hart in Memphis where he got tarred and feathered between shows, and literally they would like hodgepodge tar him up, or not like feather him up shittily, like throughout the week if he had to go in public, and like he'd be with somebody, and like somebody was telling a story about how they like after Saturday's show before they got to next Saturday, Jimmy Hart had to go into like public one time, 7-Eleven, and they had to like shoddily like feather him up to like play into the fact that he's been tarred and feathered. He has to be like that for a week until next week's show.
I love that.
And he literally would go into 7-Eleven in Memphis, like with his, because they're playing it off like obviously some have fallen off by now, and it's like it's obviously worn, but he's like, I agreed to that stipulation, fucking asshole. I agreed to be tarred and feathered by those goddamn Bill Dundee got me, and it's like, it's so ridiculous, but at the same time, it's brilliant. And I'm like, man. Because those townspeople are like, holy shit, he really is. Goddamn, that boy really is goddamn tarred and feathered. Son of a bitch, I'm like, he's going to go home, tell their wife, like, I saw that goddamn Jimmy Hart and fucking 7-Eleven buying himself a goddamn Coca-Cola and tarred and feathered, boy, I tell
you.
Memphis. I love Memphis, by the way. You guys been to Memphis?
No.
I've not been to Memphis.
We should go to Memphis. All of
us.
That should be a trip. There's not much wrestling there, but we should just go for a vacation. And you guys can see Graceland, too. It's really cool. But the food is incredible in Memphis. Oh, there's a wrestling connection. Obviously, Memphis was big, but Jerry Lawler owns a barbecue place with memorabilia on the walls. A bunch of shit on the walls. You can go see that.
I like shit on the walls.
I like shit on the walls. All right, tag team match, titles. North taking on Callahan and Shamrock. Judging based on what happened on TV with the North losing it to the Guns, this result made sense. I didn't think they were going to win the belts either way. A lot of people really were thinking this was going to be it. Like that was going to be the makeshift team winning the titles. I just never saw this. I was kind of half on this one, where this one was going. Personally, I felt it was a little, it's like the whole like your enemy's your friend, kind of thing. And it's like, I'm going to watch your back because I I hate you, but I know what you're capable of kind of story. So I get where they were going with it. I didn't see any potential of a title change though, Nate. What do you? I don't know. Where did you go into this one with?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because it's like the story with the North was them having the titles for so long, and then
Right.
it like instead of letting stories play out, we as fans sort of project whether or not we're done with their run, and so it's like they make it about the run more than the story. And I feel like you have somebody like Shamrock and you have somebody like Sami Callihan, and you put them together, and it's like, yes, they could very easily win the tag team titles. But the story with them is they don't work well together. They tried it, and it did not work out well.
Right.
So that, to me, is more interesting than anything.
Yeah. I don't know. Baz, I mean, aside from what you saw and know up front, like thoughts on how they put this one together, like based on going into it, leading into it? Because you did see it from a bird's eye view, obviously, but what do you like in a situation like this where you have the makeshift enemies turn tag team? Does it ever really fully work out?
Once in a while, like the best scenario I've ever seen it working out was Cesaro and Sheamus.
Were they like the reluctant tag team?
They had a best of 7 series. This was when Mick Foley took over as Raw GM.
Mm-hmm.
He put them in a best of 7 series, I believe, and it ended in a draw. And like the winner was supposed to get a title shot. So because it ended in a draw, Foley was like, how about I give you guys a tag team title shot together? And then it led to them being the Bar. And it was one of my favorite tag teams that of this like recent era. They meshed so well together.
It started as a reluctant tag team, but then it ended up being, matching gear and a name, and
it built to that. It was a good progressive build that the fans bought into.
Okay.
Interesting. But I'm trying to think of any other tag teams.
Well, there's been a lot of the reluctant champions, right? Like the accidental, what is it like?
Sean Austin.
Yeah,
that was a bad one.
Like Rock Foley is another one, right? Like they kind of just stumbled into it, and
I was like, who's Sean Austin? I don't remember that guy.
Sean Austin from Elmhurst, Illinois. Sean Austin. Local guy, his parents are like, yeah, Sean,
let's go, Sean.
Let's go number 6. Woohoo!
Sean,
love you, baby.
Hey, they'll call him Seanzy.
Seanzy. Who's Seanzy?
That's what makes this even better.
Talk about it.
When it's Boy Meets World. Boy Meets World.
I've been watching, speaking of ABC Miller Boyette Productions, I've been watching I'm watching Full House on Hulu from the top. Another wholesome show, in the same realm as A Boy Meets World. That wholesomeness. Full House is good. I have some good takeaways from Full House. Stephanie Tanner, hilarious. More hilarious than I remember her being.
Stephanie Tanner was a star of that show.
Dude, fuck it. DJ sucks. Always crying about some bullshit. Always fucking whining. Some fucking this little bitch, right, is always on some like, you don't care about me. Oh, like she'll fuck up. This is what I swear to God. She'll fuck up something and be like, it's all about what I did, but it's never about why I did it. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Hey, you just drove a car through the fucking kitchen. Who made you jump in the seat?
That was Stephanie.
Whatever. I'm saying DJ always whines about people like fucking her over, but she only does it when she fucks up, and she's one of those like detractors. It's like she punches you in the face, like, look what you made me do. You made me punch you in the face, and now I'm an asshole.
Real talk though. two things with that car crash episode that pisses me the fuck off. How did the house get fixed by next episode?
Oh yeah, great contractor.
Aside, like the whole side of the house was destroyed, and how did Stephanie not get grounded?
Because everything ends with a lesson. The lesson was R is not for radio.
Oh, don't drive the car.
R is not for radio. That was the lesson. Where she's like, that was what happened. She's like, and I haven't even gotten to the episode yet, but I remember this. She's like, oh, radio, R. Fucking gone. And I'm like, man. But, they had a week to get that done. Next episode was a week later.
Yeah, but a week, I don't know what house you've seen rebuilt in a week.
Like, the entire side panel of the house, gone. Gone.
How did the house not collapse? Like, that's some great foundation. Like, there's no load-bearing poles or anything like that in that house. So the fact that like, half the house didn't collapse on itself.
Yeah. Also, another observation. I'm in season 3 right now, early. And, like, Becky, or fucking Jesse asks Becky to marry him, like, 4 dates in. Like, right away, it's like we're going to Vegas. Oh, fuck, we're getting married. It's like, the fuck? You are this, like, hot dude who can get any chick, and you're like, I gotta fucking lock this one down. It's like, take it easy, player. I mean, what are you doing here? Like,
Aunt Becky could have gotten it in the 90s.
She's hot. Aunt Becky is very hot. She's very pretty. But
now she's very controversial.
Very controversial. She likes to buy her way to things.
Cool.
Unbelievable. She did like, what, a month in jail or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God. But no, DJ absolutely sucks to this day. DJ can kick fucking rocks. They should have had a spinoff of just like the Stephanie show. Her like smart assing everybody. It would have been great. DJ Tanner can kiss my fucking ass. There's your soundbite. DJ Tanner, you can kiss my. You can go to DJ Tanner. You can go to hell. That's what I say.
Man, good thing we don't have TNI listeners on a live chat right now roasting us for talking about Full House on Slammiversary.
I'm gonna bring that up. By the way, you are co-hosting Wednesday nights with J-Bone now, huh? For AEW.
Yeah, I do Smash This Pod with J-Bone because
look at that.
You know what? I saw him. I popped in on a stream.
Poor guy just alone in that room, like talking to
just alone. And I was just like, let me in. Let's just talk wrestling together.
Yeah, I heard
and
you.
We both watch AEW. It's like, why not?
Hey, it helps. He's good when he plays off of somebody. He needs someone to play off of. He's a solo. Yeah. It just doesn't work. Yeah, I'm glad you jumped in there. Going back to the tag team match, my favorite spot, Nate, the dueling ankle locks, and then the slap fight that happened while in the dueling ankle locks. When Josh had Sammy and Shamrock had Ethan, and they're facing each other in ankle locks, and they're just slapping each other.
I have a great picture of that one.
Do you? Oh man,
I did have. I'll drop it in the. I'll drop it in the chat real quick.
Did you also take? Did you take the photo, like the and still photo? I love the end still, but it's Ethan going.
Okay, so little bit of backstory.
It's so good.
So I'm taking all the new and still photos before the show, obviously, because they were posted up 30 seconds after the win.
Yeah.
And what was fantastic, I messaged Dan Burgess is the GOAT of graphic design. Like, that man did wonders. I was sending these photos to him. Some photos were being sent to him maybe like 15, 20 minutes before the show started. And he still got them up. Like, just phenomenal work. So I sent him a bunch of pictures just so he always has options. I probably got about 3 or 4 of each person. I'm like, here, this is what you have. What do you need? He goes, I need this pose. I need this. I need that. I'm like, got you. And then I was like, can you make this picture for Ethan's and still?
That's awesome. It's so good.
Goes, it's just 3 replies of ha 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 ha. Like, we were just like, this is perfect. I was like, please do this. If I can ever cash in a favor, let's do this one, because It is perfect. Like, he's laughing that he's still the champion.
Exactly. It's so good. It's so perfect for that shot. Nate, have you seen this?
I don't think I have.
So yeah, they use it for the end still, and it's so well done because it's like the perfect like mockery photo. Like, of course we're still and still, you fools. It's a very Disney villain laugh. Like
first image I picked on was the dueling ankle locks. That was some good timing there. So you want me to pop that in? I'm popping it in the Skype chat.
Yeah, throw it in for us. Let's take a look. But no, it was so good.
It's gonna take a minute.
Such a great photo. But afterwards, so they get on the mic. They talk. Ethan's talking about how they're the best champions, greatest tag team champions in history. And then we hear the Guns music again, and the Machine Guns come out and challenge them on Tuesday to a match that they eventually did win and became 2-time tag team champions, ending the most epic title reign in Impact history. So that was interesting. Didn't think they're going to put the Guns in there so fast, but I guess we were talking about on TNI that, like, if there was a team that was going to beat them, it was going to be a veteran team that's like they had everybody's number. Like, the North has beaten everybody twice over. They've taken everybody out. So the team that was going to be the one to beat them was the one they weren't ready for, the one that they have never faced, and has that veteran advantage. You know what I mean? Like, Nate's like
makes sense to me.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. Like, I wanted to ask you about that. Like, psychologically, it adds up, right? Like, it just totally fits the story.
It's also like, if you think about it, the show was on Saturday, and they're oh, nice. There it is.
Yeah, great picture.
And then so they have until Tuesday to get ready for the Motor City Machine Guns.
Right.
Where, like, ordinarily they'd know, with multiple, a week, if not multiple weeks, notice for any of their other title defenses. Now they have to, mentally prepare themselves and watch a bunch of tape on Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin.
Right. Because you're selling that story, right? It's like you have 3 days to be ready for this. And I like that. I like that it's like, man, shit, we don't have enough time. And they didn't have enough time to do it. So I like how the North sold it too, like that shock of like, fuck. Didn't see that coming. So that was good. It was really good. Gia Miller's backstage. She finds the Good Brothers locker room, but when she knocks, Rich Swann comes out on crutches. So he's still like, we're like, oh, he's just hanging out. And I'm completely at this point, I'm like, he's still just hanging out. And he's talking about
they've flown him in for other tapings where he just is on camera doing stuff.
Right.
Still in this.
It was normal. It was normal to the crowd at that time because
absolutely.
Because, like Nate just said, we've seen Swann in this
multiple
position,
times.
so it's not a new thing. It's not like we haven't seen Swann in 4 months and then all of a sudden he's there in crutches.
Right.
So this was a fantastic play by Impact.
Huge.
That was good for swerving the crowd.
Big time. And he even swerves further by saying he's looking to come back and then to go after the X Division title. So he like already puts you in that mindset of like, I'm not even ready, but when I am, I'm going for the X title. I'm not even going for this title. So it's like, oh shit, like he's out. Like, okay, good to check in. Good to see you, Rich. That's about it.
Didn't he say world title?
He did. I'm sorry. You're right. I totally take that back. He did say world title. Totally did say world. Yeah, you're right.
What did he say? Because this is the part that I missed. Because
he did say world title.
What was he saying?
Just that when he comes back, when he's healthy, he's like, I'm ready to come back. I'm keeping my eyes on that world heavyweight title. Yeah, he didn't say X Division. You're right.
There you go. Hey, so he told the truth.
He planted that seed and he let you know. But again, we didn't know. We didn't know when.
Right.
Which makes it brilliant. But Jordan Grace and Deanna's next. I truly, number one, I love that tweet that you shared, Nate, today with because Meltzer said it's a 2.75, whatever his fucking stupid star rating is. But I do love that Jordan responds with, "Yeah, okay, next time we'll do it in Tokyo Dome or something." What did she say? Don't worry, next time I'll do it in Tokyo Dome. So it's an immediate 5-star match. But I personally thought this was a show stealer, and I've never seen a Deonna Purrazzo match prior to this. So, with the exception of her Explosion match that got bumped ahead of time, or the one they took from Explosion to put on.
That
Impact.
wasn't that. Actually, that wasn't. That was supposed to be on the following week's Impact.
Okay.
And it got bumped up. That's what it was.
That's the only time I've seen Deonna work prior. So I thought this was a great match. I really was impressed, and I went in knowing nothing about Deonna. What's her what's the background, Nate? Like, have you seen her on Indies? I think, like, what was she doing?
Yeah, she was in Ring of Honor for a while, and then went to NXT, and I've seen a couple of her matches live, a number of her matches on television. I think she did a tour or two of Japan.
Was she always virtuoso? Was that always her thing?
I think so. I want to say yes.
Gotcha.
The virtuoso has always been part of her gimmick.
That was okay. I thought they both looked very strong, and I love that this match was sold very well. They had the radio hype on this one on Busted Open. They did the contract signing. They rarely, like, what I liked was they brawled before this, and they got into shouting matches, but they never got put into like the obligatory, like, I'm going to be on this tag team and you're going to be on that tag team. We're going to fight the week before the main show. Like, but we technically didn't fight prior. You know, one of those things. Like, they didn't do that with them. They kept it in a very tense position the whole time. And that tension created stakes, and they created heat. Like, it created heat for Deonna, which that's the whole business is heat, right? Like, that's the thing. The whole business is creating heat. And I think they got mad heat on Deonna going into this. It's like Jordan kept getting one-upped in little ways. Like, she kept getting one-upped. Deonna was like kind of flighty towards her and stuff like that. And it was like Jordan just couldn't get that like full advantage until the last Impact before, where she smashed her face into the table, which scared Jimmy Jacobs, by the way. Mr. Zombie Princess looked very rattled by that. But that was the first, that was the first moment where I felt Jordan got her little bit of edge. She didn't get much. It was one slam to the table, and Deonna scurried off. So, like, the whole build-up, Jordan got taken advantage of until then. And it was like, oh, man. Like, the heat was built in. Like, you were just prime for that heat on Deonna. And then the fact that she won only added to it. And clean, right? Submission? Armbar?
Yeah.
Didn't see that.
No, it wasn't an armbar. It was how she beat her was she had both hands clenched behind her back.
Mm-hmm. Double Fujiwara?
Yeah, she didn't have a way to escape. So she had to verbally quit.
It's a double Fujiwara armbar. Fujiwara armbar! Oh, yeah, it looked brutal. Jordan, like, she looked like she was in pain. And it was like, fuck. Like, that move does look like it hurts. But, dude, another clean win, though, man. The title wins have been clean on this, which is, again, very interesting to me. Which I like, though. Me too. I like that it's not marred by any controversy. It was very clean. These two out-wrestled, or she out-wrestled her, and that was it. Some might say quick to put that belt on Deonna, though. What do you think, Nate? I think that's a little fast, but the story, I guess, made up for that.
Yeah, it's interesting. You'll see a lot of people talk about certain companies like jumping the shark or whatever because, making this, that, and the other change because of coronavirus. But this will be another one where I will be interested to see how the story plays out. It's, on one hand, it's sort of disappointing that Jordan Grace doesn't really get like a notable lengthy title run, but also who's to say she can't get it back?
I think there's two factors with what you said, Nate. Jordan won in January, but also she missed 6 weeks of TV because of the first,
right.
because of that first set of tapings. So it felt shorter than what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So then it's like, then let her keep going.
Yeah, but like, I think, like I said, you'll see how things play out.
Exactly, and that's the boat I'm in. As I'm just, I'm happy to watch and see where it goes, because to me right now, I don't see Impact making hasty decisions. I see them making smart, planned out decisions.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to just let this one ride.
Agreed.
I'd be curious where they go with it, because they've already set up Kylie as the contender now. I mean, it's like almost like, Jordan didn't even get her rematch, which I guess she still has one in the pocket. Whether she uses it or not, I don't know. But you're right. I think they should let it ride. They should see where this one goes, how this plays out. How Deanna does so far. Her first TV appearance as champ was good. Which again, I wasn't, like I said, I've not been totally into her. I don't know too much about her, but so far it's not too bad. Her little run-in with Kylie on Tuesday wasn't too bad. But so we'll see. We'll see where this one goes. I'm curious how they end up playing it. All right, main event time, boys. So we know we're gonna get a mystery opponent in this. So we got Ace Austin with Fulton, Trey, Eddie. Mystery opponent. Now, everybody, right? The speculation is running wild in this one. It's so and so. It's gonna be EC3. It's gonna be Eric Young. It's gonna be Bully Ray. It's all these different champs. Mike Bennett, whatever the fuck. And it ends up being, we hear Rich Swann's music, and I'm like, holy shit! And he comes out. He came out on the crutches first, right, Nate? Did he walk out with the crutches? Basil?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He walked out with the crutches and then threw him off.
And then did like a stomp on the foot. I'm like, what? So crazy. Like I was like, what? Shocked that it was Rich Swann.
Let's roll this back to the night before. Really quick. This is a little rewind. So I'm talking with Trent, and I talked with Swann, and I go, ew, how's the leg feeling? And then he goes, and then he just winks at me, and I was like, all right. And then he goes, yep. And I was like, world title? And he goes, yep. I was like,
really?
Let's fucking go. So, I called Trent, because I get back to the hotel, and Trent's one of the people who knows, like, where there's like 3 people who I call when I'm on these like road trips. Trent's one of them, just to let him know where I'm at and shit like that, just for safety reasons. It's always good. It's always good to let people know where you're at.
Yes.
When you're, because I'll send Trent like my map update. I do that with about 4 people. I send a map update of where I'm at just for precautionary reasons. So you're not looking over 500 miles. You might be looking over 100. So, and then I was like, yeah, man, I saw Swann. He was still on his crutches. He's like, yeah. And then Trent's like, yeah, man, he's probably out at least another 4 to 6 months. And I was like, yeah, you're probably,
wicked break.
And I was like, yeah, dude, you're probably right. That sucks. Like,
I'm like, yeah, maybe they'll play it up in January, a year to the day he comes back and Hard to Kill. They roll it in with the name. Probably, you're like, yeah, maybe. Seems like it. And then fucking Rich Swann comes back. I was like, what the hell? And then I texted you, and I'm like, you fucker, really? But then it doesn't get started right away. Because we hear...
It does not. Because another world champion.
Eric Young makes a return, comes home. Different music, though.
So different vibe, different everything. And they threw everybody off because everybody was like, oh, man, Super Eric, what the hell?
Oh, no. But he comes back looking wicked as shit. At first, I was like, Wait a minute. He's just interjecting himself into this match. It's supposed to be a 4-way. How does he just interject himself in here? You know? Which I'm still, Nate, like kind of confused on, like, how do you just interject yourself into a match like that?
Yeah, and I heard you guys talking about this on TNI, and it's just, to me, I don't know. This is something I'm willing to forgive because it's not a giant hole in a story. Because to me, you know, I know they hyped up a fatal 4-way, but if it was supposed to be originally a 5-way and now it is a 5-way, I'm happy.
Because it originally was, yeah. Let's point that out.
And to me, so imagine this. Imagine if they didn't have Rich Swann in the match. And so Trey Miguel comes out, Ace Austin comes out, Eddie Edwards comes out, and then you're like, all right, who's this mystery fourth guy? And then Eric Young comes out, you're like, oh, okay. Because they've run the commercial I don't know how many times, and you've seen Eric Young's face, and you're like, it's either EC3 or Eric Young, or, you know, like those were the two big ones. And so you're like, oh, Eric Young comes out. Cool. But to have Rich Swann come out, confuse you, and then Eric Young comes out, it's sort of like taking you up a roller coaster, and then you sort of stutter a little bit, and you kind of come down, and then you shoot right back up again.
And this is what I'm talking about. Like, this pay-per-view was so good. It was so well thought out and planned. Like, they could have easily have said, there's 2 more mystery opponents.
Right.
But they didn't. They went down to the 4 with the 1 mystery opponent, and it was just another swerve after swerve. But it was a swerve in a good way. Like, all these swerves, everything was just to pop you just a little bit more.
It was complete logic. It was complete. A swerve is only good psychologically and from a writing perspective. A swerve only makes sense when you can pay it off after the show. When you can not pay it off, but when you can feed off of it after the show you're doing it on. So, like,
says the Vince Russo fan.
I agree. Yes,
but because you put your guard down at this point, right. You're not anticipating anything, and that's the best. That's why you call it a surprise, is because you're not supposed to anticipate it. So you're not anticipating a 5th person, because in your mind for the last 3 weeks you've been told 4 people, 1 mystery opponent. Swann coming back from injury is a good pop. Like, it's like, oh, sick. Swann is back. Yeah. Let's get this match started. Swann's in the ring, and then we see Eric Young come out, and then you don't just see Super Eric, you don't see EY, you see this grizzled, like, badass coming out in the Grimmer's hockey mask. Like, that was so good.
Also, the story that came out of it with the 2 of them, you could tell me the match was like a 16-person gauntlet, or like whatever. It's worth it to get this Eric Young Rich Swann story at the end of it.
Oh, so let's name the opponents again. So again, Ace Austin, Trey Miguel, Eddie Edwards, Rich Swann, and Eric Young now. And then, so Eric Young eliminated, and Rich eliminates him, correct? That was his anger. So Rich Swann eliminates Eric Young. He's frustrated. He is so furious, and he grabs a chair and he just starts beating the leg that Rich just broke, like Pillman Austin style, 96. Like, he is.
He Pillmanized his leg.
He Pillmanized his leg. I don't know how you fucking fake some of that. You know, I don't know how you pull that, because he did the whole wrap the ankle in the chair, stomp the chair. I'm like, there's no way to pull that. And we all know Rich legit had a broken ankle. Like, it was shattered, gone. And he is just killing Rich Swann at the end of this. And Swann is such a good actor. Like, he's playing this up. He's got you, like, sympathizing right here. And I'm like, part of it's believing it, because I'm like, I just watch you take the guy's leg off, basically, you know? The referee calls for the bell, and then, like, you know, it was so, like, he's out, man. Like, so Swann is fucked. But then Ace takes out Swann after that. So it was It was bad, man. It's like security got Young out. Austin just basically takes advantage of that moment and then takes out Ace. So now we're down to Ace Austin and Eddie Edwards at this point because Trey got eliminated early by, I want to say,
Eric Young.
Eric Young. We did the pile driver, I believe. Spike pile driver, which is...
That sequence was great, though, with the Meteora off the top, and then he rolls into the pile driver.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
You could tell that Trey had been dying to, or Eric had been dying to do a pile driver for a while. He looked like he wanted to hit a pile driver for a long time, and hasn't been able, because they ban him, right? In WWE, you can't hit a pile driver.
Yeah.
So you could just tell that guy wanted to hit a pile driver, man. But the beatdown on Rich was brutal. I don't know how you even dance around it. But it was great. This is where I love Ace Austin. This kid's completely got a future. I mean, he went neck and neck with Eddie, and it truly was a matter of like veteran just saw the opening, got the best of him, got the win. So Eddie Edwards wins the title, but I think Ace Austin came out looking strong, guys.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, I think the kid looked great coming out of this. Like,
Ace came out fantastic in this. And then, like, we saw what happened on Impact on Tuesday. So.
But he came out, like, I don't think the loss hurt him one bit. You know,
No.
I think it only made him stronger, to be honest. It only made him more credible for when he eventually does get a belt. And it's like, shit, this guy, he can hang. He could definitely go. And I think this little confidence booster for guys like Ace and Trey to be in this main event, I think this was a huge, huge plus for them to really feed their confidence and their leveling them up. I think it was awesome. So good for them. It doesn't end. Fulton comes down. He's about to attack Edwards, but we get the music. The Good Brothers. Hoot and something. What do they call themselves? Doc and the Hoot?
They call themselves whatever they want.
Hootski, Docski. Goodski brothers.
They had some beers. They had some beer skis.
They had some beer skis. Doc almost slipped on the ramp coming down. Almost hit a little bit of a whoop.
The cowboy boots are retired from in-ring competition.
Terrible. He almost took him out. But luckily he recovered. He did not fall. Good Brothers come out, and so Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, and they basically help Edwards take out Fulton and Austin. So the alliance is formed. They're with the champion. I was telling Basil earlier this week, Nate, that for years I used to see this guy's Twitter handle on Twitter, and I'm like, who the fuck is who the hell is Machine Gunka? Like Machine, I'm like, what the fuck's Machine Gunka? What a stupid name, Gunka. I'm like, what's Machine Gunka? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
That's awesome.
Gunka. So the show goes off the air. So we got it's Eddie. There was a post match thing too, like a little Eddie promo in the ring post match, which made it onto Twitter, I believe, which is really cool. And but that was, so we got your alliances right there. But as Impact has been teaching us the last couple of weeks, do not shut it off when it ends. I legit popped like this was Hogan winning the title at WrestleMania 6, the same way I popped then. I popped here. When it's dark, lights go out, and then we come back up and we see this figure against the three scratches in the wall, and it's EC3. He turns around, gives this wicked look to the camera, and like when he has his hood, he takes the hood down, looks at the camera, and the music is so perfect, like it's following his movements almost. He just stares into the camera. He has the whiskey glass from all those little promos, looks at it very calmly, and the music just intensely builds up, and he throws the glass at the three, and then that was it. So what a beautiful tease to throw in at the end. And I was literally in this room going, yes, fuck yes, marking out. Total mark out moment, which I don't have to do much anymore. I liked how that was done. Because everybody at that point was like, I guess he's not showing up. Because he's been teasing going everywhere except here.
Yep.
What do you think, Nate? Like done well? I think give me your opinion on that.
So yes and no.
Ooh,
This one, I thought, just like all the others, Night of, I thought was great. Having it at the end of the show, sort of to me felt like he was signaling that he's going after Eddie Edwards and going after the title.
Interesting, yeah.
And then to see what he did on Tuesday with Moose instead. And obviously, I'll sit and watch this story play out because it could be maybe he just wants to shut Moose up on his way to Eddie or whatever it is. Maybe I misinterpreted and the ending of the show was just the ending of the show and wasn't specifically about Eddie Edwards and the title. But Night of, I was like, yes, perfect. This is amazing. Because again, not all of them had to wrestle, which I absolutely love.
Right.
He didn't come out and attack anybody. It was a video when nobody else that they re-debuted had a video.
Good point.
So I loved it.
Yeah, it was just perfect the way to cap the show.
Yeah.
And it's been built so well, like the anticipation of, and he's done a great job. Like, is it him? Where's he going?
Right. And if the idea was Eric Young was the guy in the commercials, they didn't tie that in with his return in the match.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Then they tied those back in with him and the shot glass in that video.
So true. That's a really good observation. Really, really good. Basil, your thought when you got to see the man himself backstage, or was he backstage at Slam, or was it just a video?
He doesn't work there.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, K-Fin. No, I guess he doesn't.
No, but... he's fantastic to be around. It was crazy because Trent was with me when we met EC3 the first time.
Yeah. Squared Circle, 2013.
At Squared Circle, yeah. So I go up to him and we introduce ourselves to each other, and he goes, "I know you," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, we met one time like 7 years ago." And he's like, "Where?" I was like, "Lisa's restaurant." And he goes, "Oh yeah." And then we get into the story. I'm not going to talk about it, but you know what? You both know the story. And then he's like, he was acting like that. What a shocker!
Oh yeah, that's so funny.
So that was cool that he remembered me because I've only met him one time.
Yeah, definitely. He's a cool dude. He's by the way, did you guys see that video he posted today about the merch drop off? Did you see this?
No.
This is fantastic. He's been like shipping out merch, people buying his new shirt, and he posts this video. He's like, "Well, shipping out merch," and I looked at this guy's address, and it was literally like right by where I was going to drive. So I decided to go stop off and just hand deliver it. So he's like, let's see what happens. So he like has his phone, he knocks on the guy's door. And the guy opens up the door. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, what?" He goes, "Are you Bruce?" And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "Here's your shirt. Your shirt." And he's like, "Wait, EC3? What the fuck are you like? What are you doing here?"
Wait, where did he drop this video at?
Instagram. It's
it's on Instagram.
And the guy's like, "Well, come on in." Yeah, he like goes in his house and he like hangs out with him. The guy's like still in shock, and he had a conversation. He hung out and he was just like, "I'm sorry, I should have cleaned my place up a little bit." And he's like, "No, don't worry about it." It was just so fucking random. And I'm like, because he's just like, yeah, I was driving by and I realized I'm like right in the area of this guy. So I just stopped off and hand delivered it. Which I think is amazing if that happened. It's like, somebody just fucking, like, somebody you ordered, like it's somebody's teacher. Just, "Here you go, man, I was in the area. So I drop it off, save on the USPS. Like, here's the thing I questioned though. Did he refund that guy shipping and handling charges?
Ooh.
Makes you wonder. From the website.
No, dude, because he no.
Because he shipped and handled it himself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. I think I do want to get that t-shirt though. It was pretty cool. No, really cool. Awesome moment. Great show. This was a home run for them. I think they really, really knocked out of the park. I'm super proud. I'm super happy the way the company kicked off this new season, you could say. And it shows proofs in the pudding, man. People are on board with the company now, and it's pretty awesome to see. Pretty awesome to see.
I do want to ask you because I've seen a bit of squabble about TNA doing what they always do and hiring ex WWE guys.
Oh,
and I want to get your thoughts on that.
Personally, I would have been fine with just the former TNA guys coming back, because to me it's like you came home, kind of thing. I didn't think you needed as many as you did, to be honest. Unless there's a great story to come out of Heath Slater, I don't, unless something awesome. But is it just a name for the sake of name at that moment? It depends who it is and how you. If you hire everybody who got released, it's overkill.
Sure.
But to me, the guys who are always TNA guys, like if AJ Styles leaves tomorrow and he comes back, it's like, to me, it's not a former WWE guy; it's a TNA guy coming home. That's
the only person who debuted who wasn't in the company previously was Heath.
Right.
Myers is a former TNA champion. He was part of that GFW bullshit.
Tag belt, yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously EY.
Carl Anderson technically didn't under a TNA or Impact banner. He was a GFW guy.
He was a GFW guy, but he never wrestled. In Impact, but
to me also, like the bulk of stuff that he and Gallows have done in their career that's like noteworthy. Gallows less so than Anderson, but was New Japan. The bulk of what Eric Young and EC3 have done that's important in their career was in TNA Impact. So to me personally, none of these guys really feel like specifically ex-WWE guys. Like it's not like you're getting
Heath, if anything, right? Like
exactly. He's
the only guy.
One. He's the only one. It's not like you're bringing in Randy Orton or anything.
Exactly, and that's why I think that stigma didn't have too much, like it didn't have too much weight, because there were some people saying that, but not enough. It was such a small pocket because of that fact. It was like, these aren't really WWE branded guys, except for Heath. The rest are all just like, they're either former Impact or, like you said, New Japan. They're guys who went through the WWE. But like even Mike Bennett, for that matter, if he comes back, my thing is like, well, if it's even Mike Bennett was like, I associate him more with Ring of Honor and Impact. He just
absolutely.
Like, he went and had a stint in WWE, but he's not a WWE guy to me. Like I said, I still to this day see AJ that way, and I know his career is way beyond, but like, that's the foundational place. To me, it's like AJ is he's a TNA Impact guy to me. He's just always is going to be. Bobby Roode, same thing. Like James. There's certain guys who's like, that's you brought up a good point. Wherever the bulk of the career accomplishments happen, you kind of feel you associate that with what they're affiliated to.
But even like, because, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I feel like AJ Styles spent more time in TNA than he has in WWE.
Right.
But he's also multi-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Sure.
So to me, and I know you feel differently about this, but to me, if he left and signed on with Impact, he has more WWE to his name than a Carl Anderson or a Brian Myers.
I think with AJ, AJ's very adaptable. So when I saw AJ when he went to New Japan, I saw him as a New Japan guy. He did very well representing that brand for the 2 years he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 4 years since that he's been in WWE, he's been a fantastic WWE wrestler. Like, I see him now, obviously, with how big of a fan of AJ I am. Oh wait, it doesn't even show the chin with the it cuts it out.
Yeah.
But But with how big of a fan I am with AJ,
there we go. There's
There
your
it is.
chair.
He has done such a good job with making, like, when you see AJ right now, like anybody, you think WWE.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the newer fans or something like that. He doesn't have the other company stigma that unfortunately a lot of wrestlers get stuck with in WWE, because I feel like AJ adapted, and I feel like that match with Roman Reigns, I believe it was Extreme Rules 2016.
Yes,
that had with Roman Reigns
in Chicago.
Really put him on the map as a WWE wrestler. Like, he was able to go with the best of them. And I truly do believe that Roman is one of the better wrestlers in WWE.
They're hurting without him.
Do I like his character or his persona? Not the most, but as a wrestler, Roman is one of the best. And AJ had a fantastic match with him, and that just kind of catapulted his career into what it is now. But that's just AJ. That's because AJ is the best wrestler on in any company.
He's fantastic. He's absolutely.
I think he's one, and I would say I would put like Omega and Okada right below him.
He's I truly feel when the dust settles, he's going to go down as probably the greatest versatile wrestler of our generation. Honestly,
Agreed.
I think because he and I just think he's done so much everywhere he's gone. I mean, he's been a success everywhere. He's worked every style, no matter where it's been, adaptable, like you said. Any possible promotion, competitor, whatever it is, this guy has completely succeeded everywhere.
Within 2 years, the man was a TNA champion, IWGP heavyweight champion, 3 years, sorry. TNA champion, IWGP heavyweight champion, and WWE champion.
It's incredible.
Like, it's insane. Like,
he's one of the best.
He is one of the best.
Some people go years without seeing one of those.
Yeah.
I personally think he's there's gonna be an argument of that greatest of all time. A lot of people put Shawn Michaels as the top in a lot of categories, in a lot of lists. I personally think AJ Styles is better than Shawn Michaels because of his versatility alone. You know, people are like, oh, you're fucking crazy. I'm like, no, I mean, I'm like, really consider that for a second. The guy's had more marquee across a spectrum, like TNA, like Japan, like Ring of Honor, several indies, as opposed to a Shawn Michaels who pretty much was in one system his entire career. One system, one style. Adaptable to different people within that system, yes, but not too much diversity in that, you know, like AJ had to do.
It's also when you think about Shawn Michaels and you think about the career he had and how long it took him to get a world heavyweight title. And then you look at AJ Styles and it's like, that dude started in 1999 and he was a world heavyweight champion by 2003.
Oh, 3. He was champion.
3.
Yeah.
So 1 year within the TNA, he was NWA. He's NWA heavyweight champion, TNA champion, IWGP heavyweight champion, WWE champion, Intercontinental champion, X Division, tag titles.
Yep.
Like ROH pure. He was an ROH pure champion.
I think he was.
I wish they would have put the ROH title on him, so he was the only guy to get the full crown. If he was,
man, I felt
missed
like
opportunity.
Should have. I felt like when he had that indie run between TNA and New Japan, he should have been given that belt.
He only came back for one match in Ring of Honor, I think. And
no, he did a full. He did a full run.
Did he? I have to look because I know he did a few matches. I know he wrestled Jay Lethal for the title, and it was a tremendous match.
He was in Milwaukee. Well, I met him. I took a photo with him, me and my ex, at Chicago Ridge on one of his appearances. He wrestled in Milwaukee at the Milwaukee show, one of those crazy Milwaukee shows. So I mean, he did a full run with ROH. I just was shocked that they did not put that title on him, because imagine if he did get the ROH title, he would have been the only guy to do that, do the full crown. Is there anybody else who's done, including even ECW and WCW?
Oh yeah, he did. He did do a run, didn't he?
He did. Yeah, he had a pretty full run. Is there anybody who's even remotely active who did ECW and WCW? Jericho. Jericho never had the ECW heavyweight though, nor did he have the actual.
He had. I'm looking really quick. He did quite a few. He did quite a few ROH shows in 2015.
Yeah.
2014, 2015. It was a good run.
I know Christopher Daniels has been in like ECW, WCW, WWF. Like, it's insane the amount of promotions he's been in, but not very many world titles in them.
None in him.
He had the Ring of Honor title.
Yeah, that's right. He had the one time short reign, but that was a good one too when he won it. But you're right, that was it. Daniels never really was a heavyweight champion, but he held titles and everything, just about, almost. Not the older two like ECW and WCW, but
right.
He's definitely been one of those versatile guys, and now ending in AEW, it's pretty phenomenal. The guy's literally been in everything, which is pretty fantastic, actually.
And he wrestled in New Japan.
Yeah, there's one guy who did them all from the modern era. He's the only guy, I think, who's touched them all.
And he was IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
So
Daniels?
I thought you said Jericho. Sorry.
No, Christopher Daniels.
Chris Daniels, technically the only guy to do all of them in the modern era.
He's wrestled ECW, WCW, WWF,
NWA.
NWA, AEW, New Japan, TNA.
Wow, Ring of Honor. Holy
Chikara.
shit. Yep, Chikara too. Yeah. Holy shit, he's done them all, man.
It was like 9 or 12 promotions that he's been a part of,
and like in a major way, like he's been a vital part of.
WCW not a major way, ECW not so much a major way.
True.
WWF was just a bunch of job matches.
Yeah, it's true.
But he
was there.
But he still was there. Like, that's just, and then the fact that he's still as good as he is right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's another name, by the way, guys, who fits that category, which he doesn't get mentioned as much because he was in and out a lot. But Devin Storm, aka Crowbar, also in ECW, WCW, WWF, Ring of Honor, TNA. Like he touched almost all of them in the modern era too, and he kind of gets forgotten a little bit in that sense. But that's interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Devin Storm, man, he was a good one too. He was a very interesting talent. His story is interesting. I just heard an interview with him on David Penzer's show.
Yeah, he's a therapist now, right?
Physical therapist. He was going to school in parallel with wrestling just to set himself up, and it paid the fuck off. So that's good for him. Smart guy. But yeah, listen, let's put a bow on this. We've gone quite a bit, but that was good, man. Slammiversary 2020, 100% worth it. A great show. A very, very Basil. I mean, it's awesome. You got to be a part of it. You're there for those tapings.
It was the first time I got to repeat a pay-per-view. Because Hard to Kill and Homecoming, 2 different pay-per-views, same time frame, but yeah. This is the first of the annual pay-per-views that I got to be the second part of. So I mean, it's crazy. It's already been we're coming up on like 19 or 20 months now. So
Jesus. Hopefully, Bound for Glory is your next one that you get to repeat. That'll be nice.
Yeah,
but that's cool, man. All right, let's get our plugs in here. Let's start this one out. Nate, when bookings start again and the sporadic ones that are happening, we're going to contact you to get booked.
At Ref Nate Speckman on Twitter and Instagram.
Very nice, very nice. And you've been put up really cute photos of your dog lately.
Yeah, nice. I think without wrestling right now, I'm just going to turn my Twitter account into pictures of my dog, and turn my Instagram account into a place where I just blog about tea.
I like it. I back this play. All right, good. Basil, where can people find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at BZ. That's a B, 2 E's, 4 Z's, and a Y. All my photos can be found at basilmahmood.com, BASILMAHMUD.com. And where can they find you, Trent?
You can find me at Trent Zuberry on Twitter and HEMI Music on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can connect with me on those. You can find the show at The BSB Show on Twitter, Facebook, and, well, Basil, I guess it is next week. Where can they find... we do have an Instagram now, right? It's official. We've caved. There's a next week is now, correct? Am I correct in saying that? The BSB Show Pod on Instagram is valid. That's us. That's the real one. I think the other one got taken down, by the way, the fake one. So we are on. Yeah, I think so. I had to double check. But the BSB Show Pod on Instagram. Give us a follow there, guys. ProWrestlingTees.com/Backstage Boys. Get your T-shirts. 3 designs up there right now. The referee Nate Speckman shirt coming soon.
Nope.
Not happening. But that's there. So, guys, also, you can connect with the show on audio, wherever audio podcasts are found. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe. YouTube as well. Backstage Boys on YouTube. These shows go up there a little bit earlier than they do on audio. So if you are a YouTuber, definitely give us a subscription on there as well. Leave your comments. And definitely let us know what you guys think. This was the Slammiversary 2020 review for Impact Wrestling. A little backstage talk, a little deep analysis. Guys, we will be back. I don't know when episode number 71, but the road to 100 continues, boys.
Probably. I mean, we do got Warrior Wrestling coming up in a few weeks. So
Warriors coming up, sure. Warriors. There'll be something to talk about after that.
Yeah, we should preview it.
Let's preview it for sure because be something to do. Even though the preview shows don't do great, but like why not? We need something to talk about.
We need stuff. And then we can talk a little bit more in detail about Impact stuff.
Okay. Yeah, as the shows unfold, we can talk more about what happened weekly. So all right, let's do that, guys. All right. For all of us, that's gonna do it. We'll be back 71 next time, everybody. Thank you all for listening. We will talk to you later on.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Bye.
I did it.
Jinx.
I did it.